Mitch Holthus actually brought it up on a tweet, and it was from Warren Sharp of Sharp Analytics. Reported that the Chiefs did something this year that has not been done in 35 years in the NFL. The Chiefs had 5 consecutive opponents in December that had extra days to rest and prep. Packers had 10 days, Bills had 14 days, Patriots had 10 days, Raiders had 11 days, and Bengals had 8 days to prepare and rest to prepare for Kansas City. So, JD, it was an up and down December, one to forget, I would say. Chiefs went 2-3 in December. But my question is, seeing what Mitch Holthus tweeted and then seeing the fact that it hasn't been done in 35 years, that the team hasn't gone against 5 straight opponents that had extra days to rest and prep. How much of a factor do you think this played in the Chiefs going 2-3 in the month of December?
No, it's a good question. It's a really good question. I seen that yesterday, and I was just like, there's some validity to it, I'm sure. Team having more time to prepare, a little bit more time to rest, could be to their benefit, no doubt about it, right? Because then you just got more film. You could take your time on what you need to do to game plan with teams. So I think that does have some merit. But also too, sometimes when they go on breaks and you have a long break, sometimes guys come back lethargic because you haven't been practicing. And then if a team, I mean, you see it all the time when certain guys come back from the bye week, they're just not the same, right? Whatever it is, part of it is just getting out of your typical schedule that you do. And you got a little break in between. You lose a little bit of focus. You're just trying to get back in the building, get the cobwebs out from all the things you've been doing. So did that affect the Chiefs? If nobody said anything about it, who would have cared? Who would have known any of that, right? And I'm not saying that the NFL did that, on purpose, because I doubt if they did. It just happened to work out that way. So, guys just making the schedule, how to do is like, oh, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, shoot. Like all these, they had bye weeks before they played the Chiefs. Like nobody really knew that until you go into the analytics, right? The analytics come up.
Yeah.
I'm to be honest with you, teams are going to play regardless. I don't care if a team has a rest or not. You're here to do the job. You're here to win games. And each and every game we were in, the only one I feel like we got kind of beat up with was the Raiders. That whole stretch. Other than that, man, I mean, shoot, we almost had the Bills won. Should have beat the Bills. Okay. Green Bay is another one. Had them on the ropes.
Yeah.
Who's another one? Who's a third loss?
Packers.
And the Packers. Well, I said Packers. Packers had them on the ropes. I was thinking Packers. I'm thinking Raiders. And the Raiders.
Yep.
Right? I said the Raiders is the only one that was kind of getting us, but we should have probably beat the Packers and the Bills in that whole stretch. So preparation, because you have time to do it, definitely helps. No doubt about it. Rest absolutely helps the body. So I do believe there's some validity in what was being said. Should have never happened again. Sure, why not? Okay, why not? So
the fact that it happened in 35 years, that was the crazy part to me. Yeah, sure, they had extra rest, but the fact that it's happened in 35 years, that strikes me as the NFL might have made a mistake because, I mean, they obviously 35 years, they purposely don't do that, specifically 5 back-to-back games where you're playing against teams that come off a bye or extra days of rest.
Well, I mean, then it goes into I was seeing people with the conspiracy theory. See, I told you they don't want the Chiefs to repeat, don't make it a dynasty. Okay, look, you start getting into the whole scripting things, a particular way. Haven't been done in 35 years. Just make sure it didn't ever happen again. Yeah. Right? Going forward, you see that. Let's make sure there's no mistake like that ever again. If you want to do those things, right? But hey, man, the Chiefs got to handle business where you got to handle business. Period. Point blank. So, I think they did a decent job during that stretch. So it wasn't like we was getting killed during that time. Like I said, nobody would have known. Been any smarter on the whole thing. Nobody said anything. So what? Hey.
Yeah, and also too, like, yeah, and one of the wins we had, if you think about it, Bengals played on a Saturday against the Steelers. We didn't play till Monday, so they had 8 days to rest and prepare. We didn't play till Monday against the Raiders that week, so we only had 6 days to prepare, and they had 8 days to prepare, right? So there's a 2-day window where they got to watch the Chiefs play live on Monday, and we won. We came out and won that game. So, like, yeah, sometimes you lose those games when the other team has more rest, and sometimes you win those games. So, I mean, yeah. If that whole thing was a certainty, then yeah, we would have lost all those games, all those teams who had rest. It's 100% locked that you're gonna win if you have more rest. So that's not the case. We won 2 of those 5. So
yeah. So I mean, and like I said, we should have had Buffalo. We should have beat Buffalo. Was in a position to beat them and the Packers. So we should have really ended up being 4-1.
Yeah.
So
take away 2 controversial calls, and you got 2 wins right there.
Yeah, it's true. It's right. So
that Bills game, man, that really shaped the AFC playoffs big time this year, because that Kadarius Toney play happens. Bills are probably maybe out of the playoffs. Miami is already won that division, so they're resting their guys this week, and who knows, maybe they might play this weekend, so Bills don't make to the playoffs. But yeah, that'd be interesting to see how that would have worked out.
Yeah. Well, we had opportunities even before that little play, where we just didn't score. So, and that's the woes we've been going through all year. Didn't matter how much rest they needed, or we needed. It's just us putting those things together. That's what we was trying to figure it out. So
I mean, hopefully, like, it seems like we have a based on what Mahomes said after the game. Hopefully, it seems like we kind of know what our identity is. Great defense. Just get points where you can get points. Don't leave points on the field. It's essentially what it is. Don't leave points out there. Whether it is a field goal, obviously we want to finish drives, but if we can come away with getting field goals, let's do it, because we have a defense we trust out there. So just don't put them in bad situations or predicaments.
Right. I think sometimes you may have to go with the analytics and go on fourth down. We got their 4th down to 1.
Yep.
But I think in the red zone we need to do a much better job running the football in the red zone. Okay, and actually dedicating ourselves to running the football in the red zone. Run the ball, run the football, and we can do that. We get a Dalvin Cook here.
Yeah. Could you imagine a 2-back set with those 2 in the shotgun, both those 2 on your side? I mean, you don't know who's getting the ball there.
Yeah, come on.
Do you think, after watching the game on Sunday and hearing Mahomes after the game, and obviously there's certain spurts in the game where we didn't run the ball, so it wasn't like we went on full on ground and pound, but I mean, it seems like we stuck to it a litlittle bit more and had a little bit of elements of play action there. Do you think they have, and based on what Mahomes said, do you think they have their identity? I mean, because I know a couple of weeks ago you were saying that they don't have an identity yet.
Yeah.
Do you think we're finding it now? Do you think they're kind of catching on to it?
I think we've been forced to say, okay, this is what we need to be. And sometimes it takes a game like we just seen to solidify that, right? To define who you are, right? And so this has to be our identity. And I want to adopt even more of the run than what we did even on Sunday. And so it's not a secret. It's not a secret at all. But I do like, kind of condensing the offense playbook. Let guys go out there and just play fast. Throw the ball down the field. And I love the deep passes to Watson, to MVS, and to Rice. Throw the ball down the field. Make it legitimate deep threats. Okay? Let the defense cover the entire field. You have to. You have to do that. So I like that. Show how, take shots when you need to. So yeah, I think we worked into somewhat of identity, and hopefully we stick with it.
Did you see the someone posted the clip from when Sammy Watkins caught that deep pass in the Super Bowl against the Niners on Richard Sherman? Mm-hmm. Did you see the side-by-side play with the Rashee Rice play? It was almost the identical. It looks like we went back to the well. We went back to some of our old plays, and it was the exact same play that we ran in that game with the Rashee Rice bomb.
Oh, really?
Last weekend, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see it.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see your thoughts on it. I mean, because if we are going back to plays from a couple of years back, then you know what, we are condensing the offense a little bit, going back to the basics of the Andy Reid offense a little bit.
Well, that should always be a part of what you do anyway. I mean, I think it's every offense should have a deep balls. We talking taking shots. You have to have that in your arsenal. So sometimes you just got to dial it up. Sometimes you just have to do it. Like, hey, man, we're going to take a shot right here. Why not? They look like they sitting right on the sticks, on the hitches and the curls. Run past them one time. Okay? Get them out their daggone back pedal. All right? That's why the one that I guess Jones took that little hitch to the house. Well, the hitch was 8 to 10 yards deep, which first off was too deep for one, but also two, you didn't get the DB out of his back pedal. You didn't take him with anything vertical. So, okay, I guess what? Keep peeking back here, and keep looking at Pat, and our wide receiver's gonna be right by you. Okay, so yeah, that was brilliant by them. Brilliant.
Yeah, so 2-3 December, won the last game of December, last game of 2023. So, we could say it's a December to forget, but hey, on to 2024. We can, go undefeated starting this weekend in that 2024, even if we have some of our backups in this weekend.
Well, then a new season starts with the playoffs.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.